Yung ano din po, ma'am. I think question number 2 and yung the last question.
The next question. Yung mga multiple yung answer, no?
Opo.
Okay na po.
I think okay na.
Okay na po.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to start at 1:30 on our domain 1 session.
Nanghuhula lang po ako dito sa test, ma'am.
It's okay. So you can give us thumbs up if you're done. Guys, okay naman yung ano ko? Shell? Okay naman? Hindi ka na narinig.
Ay, naka-present mode ka.
Naka-present mode. Okay. Kanina, hindi.
Kanina pa siya ganyan.
Kanina pa siya ganyan. Anyway. Ito,
Ayan. Yan.
naka-present mode, hindi.
Okay na yan. Naka.
So, tapos na po ba? Okay. Another 2 minutes. Done? Okay. How about the others? It's okay. This is pre-test pa lang naman ito, guys. So makikita natin yung progress at the end of these training sessions. So we can start now. Okay, so I think we can start. You can, guys, pwede kayo mag-thumbs up so we can proceed na to our discussion. So me and Kay will discuss the cloud concepts for today. So this is the domain one. Actually, we have 4 domains for the Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. And the first one, which is the cloud concept, no? So I can start na, guys, because it's already 1:38, so para hindi tayo masyadong tumagal. Then pwede nyo naman siyang i-take as many as you can para ma-review kayo. Okay, for the clouds concept, so what we'll talk about today is the overview of cloud services, the AWS Cloud Economics, the AWS Cloud Architecture Design Principles, and of course, we will introduce some of the AWS popular services. Okay. For the overview of cloud services, we will start with the definition of cloud computing. Of course, as we define what is cloud computing, based on the Wikipedia, this is the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data rather than a local server or a personal computer. And based on Amazon Web Services definition, so cloud computing refers to the on-demand delivery of IT resources and applications via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing model. So nowadays, we all know that everything is moved to the cloud, running in the cloud, accessed from the cloud, or maybe stored in the cloud. So that's why the demand for the certified cloud practitioner and architects increasing across all the sectors of the economy. So there are cloud computing service types. So as we can see, this is the visualization, no? So there are 4, actually 3, but with AWS, it's 4 for cloud computing service type. So makikita natin with our on-prem environment that we manage all the resources and the infrastructure, from networking, storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, middleware, runtime, data, and applications. With on-prem, we manage that, no? But with infrastructure as a service, because there are 4 types or 3 types as a service types in cloud. So in infrastructure as a service, we can see that that the infrastructure includes the fundamental cloud IT building elements. So typically, it offers the network access, computers, virtual or hardware specific, and storage of data. So from this, yung blue, yung from the legend, makikita natin, these are provided by the cloud providers. And from the operating system, middleware, runtime, data, and application, this is the customer managed services. For the platform as a service, so we are all familiar dahil alam ko sa inyo yung background ay nasa dev, di ba? From the platform as a service, dito naman, it removes the need for business to maintain the underlying infrastructure. It means that the cloud providers provide the infrastructure. So wala nang iintindihin yung customer. So magfo-focus na lang si customer from the applications and the data. Because all the infrastructure from networking, storage, server, virtualization, operating system, middleware, and runtime are provided by the cloud. So in AWS, for the infrastructure as a service, ito yung mga services na ginagamit. Yung Amazon EC2, it's like a virtual machine. Then for the database, the Amazon RDS or the relational database, the AWS Elastic Blocks EBS, and the Amazon BPC. For the platform as a service, yung services naman na ginagamit ay Elastic Beanstalk and Amazon Lightsail. So later on, guys, on the succeeding modules natin, malalaman natin yung bawat or mapafamiliarize tayo sa bawat services and resources ni AWS. Then, of course, another computing service is the software as a service, which is the SaaS. So with software as a service, this it provides you with a full product that the services operates and manage. So in most instances, ito yung mga end user applications. So one example of this is Google Workspace o yung G Suite before na kumbaga pag nag-subscribe tayo, gagamitin na natin lahat yung services nila. Andiyan yung email, then the Drive, the forms, the slides, and everything, lahat ng ino-offer with the Google Workspace. And another example is the Office 365. Then another example is the Salesforce.com for the ERP naman. Then for AWS, yung services niya na software as a service or SaaS is the Amazon Workdocs. Then another function as a service. So itong function as a service this is a concept of serverless computing via serverless architecture. So in AWS, we have serverless services like AWS Lambda, which magiging familiar din tayo later on. Then, cloud deployments. Of course, in the cloud, we have different types of cloud deployment. We have on-premise or the private cloud. So the private cloud is operated solely for a single organization. So it can be done by the same organization or a third-party organization. So, but usually the costs are high when you are using your own cloud since the hardware would be updated periodically. So pag nagme-maintain tayo ng mga sarili nating data center, usually, di ba, mahal kasi we have to upgrade, we have to maintain, we have to manage. So yon. Then, usually the common use cases for this is the company scale applications. Then another cloud deployment is the cloud, which is the public cloud. So dito sa public cloud, makikita natin may mga different cloud providers like Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, and yung Google o yung the GCP, yung Google Cloud, di ba? Then for the public cloud, so the services which are deployed are open for public use. So it generally sometimes it's generally given for free, no? So technically, there may be no difference between public cloud and private cloud, but the security parameters are very different kasi in the public cloud, so it can be accessible by anyone. So there is a risk factor in terms of the security. So most use cases sa public cloud ay internet scale applications. But with the, syempre, yung mga cloud providers natin, medyo mataas na ngayon yung security, no? Even public pa yan. Kasi, syempre, may mga services or features na meron. Like sa AWS, we do have yung identity access management. And of course, dun in terms of the networking, so hindi basta-basta ma-compromise yung accounts natin. Then another cloud deployments is the hybrid. So for the hybrid, so it consists of the functionalities of both private and public cloud. So usually the common use cases for the hybrid is for the regulatory and compliance. Next, moving on to the benefits of AWS Cloud. So kung may mga questions tayo later on, so actually you can type your question at the chat box. Okay, kasi from time to time tinitingnan ko yung chat box natin eh. Okay, so next, the benefits of AWS Cloud. So there are 6 advantages and benefits of cloud computing. Actually sa ngayon, nag-check ako sa mga white paper natin, 6 pa rin siya pero may mga recent write-up na nadadagdagan na itong advantages and benefits, no? But on the exam, actually intact pa rin na ito pa rin itong mga to. 6 advantages and benefits of AWS Cloud Computing. So in cloud computing, so it provides a simple way to access the server, the storage, databases, and a broad set of applications, services over the internet. So alam naman natin na we do access lahat ito through the internet, no? Kung dati sa on-prem environment natin, minamanage natin yung mga hardware natin, 'di ba? Pag gusto nating mag-upgrade ng hard drive, we have to bibili muna tayo. Pag gusto nating mag-upgrade ng server, kailangan titignan muna natin yung type ng processor na ilalagay natin. But with the cloud computing, so lahat ito in just one click na lang. So mabilis natin ma-provision. Then, in terms of payment naman, kung ano lang yung ginamit natin, yun lang yung babayaran natin. Because of the pay-as-you-go payment model ng cloud, so mas nakaka-leverage yung mga customers or mas kumbaga in terms of business side, mas na-maximize nila yung resources nila. So, since AWS owns and maintains the network-connected hardware required for these application services, you provision and use what you need via a web application. So one advantage and benefits of AWS Cloud Computing is the trade capital expense or variable expense. So instead of dito sa trade upfront cost for variable expense, instead of investing heavily in data centers and servers, bago natin sila gamitin or bago natin sila matry, so in AWS, you can consume or you can easily provision. So mag-ano agad tayo ng gusto nating type ng, halimbawa, VM, magsiset up tayo. Ito yung gusto natin, Linux. Tapos ito yung gusto nating processor. So madali na lang. So then, ang pagbabayad natin doon, kung ano lang yung oras na ginamit natin siya. So unlike kung mag-i-invest ka agad, 'di ba? Usually hindi naman natin na ma-maximize yung mga investment natin. Kumbaga pag hindi natin ginamit, nandiyan lang yung yung equipment, nandiyan lang yung server. But with the cloud, kung hindi mo siya gagamitin, hindi ka rin magbabayad. So ganun siya. So trade upfront cost for variable expense. Dito nakikita yung mga capital expenditures and operational expenditures natin. Then, another is the benefit from massive economies of scale because of because maraming gumagamit ng AWS cloud service. So yung mga customers, they can benefit of lower cost. So as long as kumaga parang ano yan the more na maraming customers sa AWS, kaya nilang baan yung pricing, no? Yung pricing ng mga services nila. And yan yung mga nabe-benefit ng mga customer. Then, stop guessing capacity. So, stop guessing capacity. Avoid guessing about your infrastructure capacity needs. So, kung dati, depende yung need natin kung ano yung i-develop nating application, ano yung kailangan nating infrastructure, ano yung kailangan nating software. Ngayon, mawawala na lahat yun with the cloud. So when you make capacity decision before deploying your application, you often up either sitting on expensive idle resources or dealing with limited capacity. So with cloud computing, so these problems go away. So you can access as much or as little as you need and scale up and down as required with only a few minutes notice. So with stop guessing capacity, later on, with matututunan natin or malalaman natin yung scale in, scale out ng resources in terms of provisioning sa EC2. So makikita natin yan yung mga auto-scaling. So in AWS, mali-leverage natin lahat yan. Then, next is increase speed and agility. So increase speed and agility. So in cloud computing environment, new IT resources are only a click away. Ito yung sinasabi ko. So pag may mga bago, like halimbawa, may gusto tayong itry na API or applications or microservices, di ba dati medyo sa mga developer, matagal pa nila bago matry yon. And naghihintay pa sila ng weeks or months bago nila kumbaga bago pa nila ma-provision yung mga yon. But in cloud, so madali na lang kasi si AWS, it offers a lot of microservices na pwede. So even iba pa yung platform na ginagamit mo, dahil sa dami ng microservices na ino-offer ni AWS, kumbaga pwede siyang maging compatible with other applications. Then, of course, ang kagandahan nito, yung cost and time it takes to experiment sa mga developer is mas nagiging bumababa kasi andiyan na agad yung yung service and resources. Then stop spending money on running or don't run and maintain data centers. So hindi ka na kailangan mag-manage ng sarili mong data centers because lahat are in the cloud. So, ang gagawin mo na lang, you can focus on your project, in your business, at hindi na doon sa infrastructure. Kumbaga, even yung pagmamanage nun, pag-upgrade, pag-patches ng mga operating system, hindi mo na siya iintindihin because andiyan dyan na eh. Kumbaga, features na niyang AWS Cloud Service yan. Pero later on, i-discuss sa inyo doon sa mga susunod na discussion natin, yung shared responsibility model. Ano ba yung role ni customer? Ano ba yung role ni AWS? Then, go global in minutes. So, easily deploy your application in multiple regions around the world with a few clicks. So, makakapag-deploy na tayo agad. So, this means you can provide a lower latency and better experience for your customers readily and at minimal cost. Okay, so yan yung 6 advantages and benefits of cloud computing. Lahat naman na na natin, no? Nung pinlay na to kanina.
Yes po.
Yes po. So, hindi ko na kailangan i-play to. So, let's moving on to our pop quiz. So, are you ready, guys? Ay, before we move to the pop quiz, may tanong ba kayo? So wala naman. So let's move to pop quiz. So ito yun sa mga unang topics na diniscuss natin, no? Which benefit of cloud computing that lets you provide a lower latency and better experience for your customers readily and at minimal cost? A, trade capital expense. B, increase speed and agility. C, go global in minutes. And D, stop guessing capacity. So you can type your answer in the chat box. How about the others? Okay, let's have a correct answer. C, go global in minutes. Okay, so another question. Which type of cloud computing services that allows you to concentrate on your application deployment and administration? Yeah, tama si Joanna kanina. So, Joanna got the correct answer. Okay, so another question. Which type of cloud computing services that allows you to concentrate on your application deployment and administration instead on focusing on procurement of resources? So, infrastructure as a service, A. B, software as a service. C, function as a service. D, platform as a service. So magko-concentrate na lang. Kung ikaw ay dev, magko-concentrate ko na lang on the deployment. So yung focus mo, data and your application. Pero hindi mo naiintindihin yung infrastructure. So, okay. So the correct answer is P, Platform as a Service. Ba't ba ko ba nasabi yung P? Kasi paas eh. So the correct answer is Platform as a Service. So sinong nakakuha ng tamang sagot? Oh, si Joanna. Galing ni Joanna. Yay! And si Joey, of course. Joey and Joanna. Okay. So may tanong kayo guys on our first topic. So basically dun sa exam and dun sa shinare namin sa inyong exam. So talagang ganun yon, no? Kaya medyo alamin natin yung concept ng advantages and benefits of cloud computing kasi minsan dun papasok talaga yon. So yung minsan yung question, yan, yung kagaya ng mga binigay namin doon sa Google Form kanina.
Medyo tricky, no? Parang one answer is somehow similar to...
Yes, correct. Diba? Diyan magaling si AWS mag-confuse.
Just for the exam. Just for the exam.
Yan. Okay. So, next is the AWS Cloud Economics. Ito, guys, dun sa mga previous white papers or actually yung mga reviewer na nakikita ko even in YouTube, minsan hindi hindi siya nakakasama yung cloud economics. But buti nga, thankful ako kay Kay kasi yung naging focus nung ng review material namin are based on kumbaga, doon sa exam guide talaga. And kaya naisama namin tong AWS Cloud Economics. But itong topic na to, makikita nyo, ang dami rin niya doon sa Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. So may siguro may encounter nyo mga 3 to 4 questions with regards to total cost of ownership, yung capital, yung CAPEX and capital expenditures and operational expenditures. So dapat medyo naliliwanagan tayo dyan pagdating sa bagay na yan kasi may mga questions siya na related talaga dito. Okay. So cloud economics, basically, what is total cost of ownership? So total cost of ownership is a comparative total cost of ownership analysis from acquisition and operating costs. Kumbaga, di ba, with our on-prem environment natin, ang laging natin, yung capital expenditures ang concern lagi, lalo na ng mga stakeholders. Kumbaga, magkano ba yung investment mo sa pagpuprocure nung mga equipment? Like, halimbawa, pag bumili ako ng panibagong server, pag bumili ako ng pag nag-upgrade ako, how many licenses ba yung kailangan ko within my organization? So, yun yung capital expenditure kasi yun yung investment mo. But with TCO, so kino-compare yung cost ng acquisition and operating cost. Kasi when you migrate into the cloud, wala na yung capital capital expenditures. It's more on tataas na yung operational expenditure mo. Kasi lahat ng mga kailangan mong infrastructure, ipo-provision mo na lang. Kumbaga, hindi ka na mag-i-invest physically, lahat in the cloud na. Kumbaga, mag-subscribe ka na lang kay AWS. Then, kaya tumataas yung operational expenditures mo kasi andun na lahat. Kumbaga, yung ginagamit mo every day, yung mga resources or services na ipoprovision mo, based na lang dun sa kung ano yung kailangan mo at kailan mo siya kailangan. So, kaya may mga on-demand service. May mga ganon, di ba? Then, of course, in the TCO, kino-compare yon yung acquisition and operating costs for running an infrastructure environment end-to-end on-premise or in co-location facility versus AWS. Kasi ito, syempre, ang naman dito, ang tumitingin naman dito, yung mga stakeholders natin o yung sino yung mga CIO ng mga companies or organization natin. So malaking bagay sa kanila to. That's why they are very kumbaga concerned kung how effective ba or talaga bang nakakatipid tayo in migrating in AWS. So ganon. So with AWS Cloud Value Framework, which is on the next slide. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the value framework, there are four frameworks, no, na napatunayan ni AWS na in terms of cost savings, so lumalabas on the study na nagkakaroon talaga ng 50% plus reduction in total cost of ownership. So may mga paper dyan or case study that belongs to each framework. Like for example, for the cost saving. So what is it? So infrastructure cost savings avoidance from moving to the cloud. So dito, you can you can check it out later or you can read kung kung paano nangyari na nagkaroon ng 50% plus reduction in TCO. So GE oil and gas case study to for the cost saving. And of course, in terms of staff productivity, so ito naman lumalabas, efficiency improvement by function on a task-by-task basis. So over 500 hours per year of server configuration time saved. So one of the case study na nag-provide nito is a Sage Software. Then for the operational resilience, so in terms of operational resilience, benefit of improved availability, security, and compliance. So merong case study dito from Expedia Group. So ang example nito is the critical workloads run in multiple availability zones and regions for robust DR. And for the business agility, so it is deploying new features, application faster and reducing errors. So it launched of new products 75% faster from the Unilever case study. So makikita natin with the AWS Cloud Value Framework, yung cost impact and the value impact by moving or migrating into cloud. So please watch this video about the AWS Cloud Value Framework. Ayaw yata mag-play sa akin.
Tere, baka you can also put the link sa YouTube sa chat box and then everyone can watch it on their own in case. Alright, let's try that one.
Wala ba yung ano ko?
Audio? Meron naman.
Ito na lang siguro, no? Nawala yung link. Maganda sana maintindihan nila. Ito, nakikita niyo yung screen ko?
Not yet.
Hindi nag-play.
Hindi nag-play.
Hi, Michael. Nice to see you again. Welcome to the Enterprise Video Series. We're here today to talk about the Cloud Value Framework, or the CVF.
Siguro ako na lang yung mag-share.
Oo, sige. Please, Shay. Thank you.
Hi, Michael. Nice to see you again. Welcome to the Enterprise Video Series. We're here today to talk about the Cloud Value Framework, or the CVF. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the Cloud Value Framework is all about?
Yeah, great question. So for a number of years, we've heard from customers that it's really difficult to value the benefits of cloud. And so to that end, based on hundreds of business case engagements we've conducted with customers, we've come up with a framework on how to think about that. And really, it's in 4 different dimensions of value. The first is cost savings. The second is staff productivity. The third is operational resilience. And the fourth is business agility. Cost savings really is the TCO benefit from moving to the cloud. Staff productivity is the FTE productivity gained from reducing or eliminating time spent on certain tasks. Operational resilience is the benefit of improved availability and security. And business agility is being able to innovate more and respond faster to customers.
Interesting. Can you share perhaps some examples or some anecdotes about how the Cloud Value Framework has shown customers realizing business benefits from AWS?
Great question. So on cost savings, a professional services firm estimated that OpEx would be reduced by 15 to 20%. And after they migrated to AWS, they saw OpEx actually reduced by 35%. For staff productivity, a technology firm, their SVP of platform and services estimated that 60% of her team's time was being spent on undifferentiated tasks. And now, after migration, that team's time is able to be dedicated to more differentiated work. For operational resilience, a healthcare company rebuilt its patient engagement platform on AWS, and they were able to reduce their monthly unplanned downtime from 200 minutes down to less than 5 minutes. In addition, their page download times went from 1500 milliseconds down to 120 milliseconds. And for business agility, an insurance company measured the IT expenditure dedicated to innovation and saw that that went from 20% to over 60% with AWS.
Great. So these are definitely issues that all of our customers see on a daily basis. So thank you so much for the time. And as parting thoughts, do you have any statements or anything you would like to share with the audience about the Cloud Value Framework?
Yeah, great question. So I would say, number one, customers that have realized the most value have PMOs and or cloud centers of excellence to help them ensure maximum value realization. The second is that these companies build business cases before migration, ascribe value to difficult to quantify areas, and track those metrics over time. And lastly, in building those business cases, they build them before migration and involving stakeholders from the business. That's really how customers realize the most value out of AWS.
Great. Thank you so much for your participation. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the AWS Cloud Value. Okay, okay lang na ano, kasi next topic ikaw na, the AWS architected framework. Okay guys, so for next topic is the AWS well architected framework. So this framework helps the cloud architects build the most secure, high-performing, resilient, and efficient infrastructure possible for their applications. So the next slide, so we'll provide an overview of the well-architected framework's 5 pillars and explore the design principles and best practices. So this will be we will be discussed by Kay.
Thank you, Tere.
Okay.
Kita niyo naman yung screen ko, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so far yun. What we learned is what is AWS Cloud, ano yung benefits of moving to the cloud, speed and deployment, ease of use, and how can you save when you move to the cloud. So ano pa yung isang relevant for a cloud practitioner. So isa doon yung how to architect or design in the cloud. So in the next slides, we'll discuss yung concepts, kung ano yung mga concepts na yun, na how will you build the correct cloud architecture. Ayun. So AWS gives this 5 pillars of AWS well-architected framework, which basically it helps cloud architects build the most secure, high-performing, resilient, and efficient infrastructure possible for their applications. And the framework provides a consistent approach for customers and AWS Partner Network, or APN, partners to evaluate architectures and provide guidance to implement designs that scale with your application needs over time. So the next slides will provide an overview of the well-architected framework's 5 pillars and explore design principles and best practices. So the first one, yung operational excellence, that's basically the ability to run and monitor systems to deliver business value and to continually improve supporting processes and procedures. So from the word itself, operational excellence, ini-improve mo yung operations ng system. So ayan. Hindi ko na babasahin yung mga definitions or how it does, pero yan yung isa sa 5 pillars na most important, which is yung improving yung operations. Then next is security. Siyempre, kahit hindi cloud, isa sa mga pinaka-important concept yung security, which is the ability to protect information, systems, and assets while delivering business value through risk assessments and mitigation strategies. So AWS makes a good job yung giving access to resources that provide security to your cloud infrastructure. So yan, isa sa most important talaga yan sa systems, lalo na kung mga yung system mo is mga financial related or mga anything may money involved or may information or data involved. So napaka-important ng security. Next, of course, yung reliability or ability ng system mo na always online as it's needed. So it's also the ability of a system to recover from infrastructure or service disruptions, dynamically acquire computing resources to meet demand. So pag mas tumataas yung traffic, tumataas din yung resources automatically, and also mitigate disruptions such as misconfigurations or transient network issues. So lahat yan kaya rin i-handle ng cloud as long as you know what services to use or how to design your system. Next, yung performance efficiency. So performance, yun. Kailangan improve din yung performance. Ability to use computing resources efficiently to meet system requirements and to maintain that efficiency as demand changes and technologies evolve. So these are just some of the items that related to performance efficiency. And yun, as also mentioned before, yung cost optimization, isa talaga sa major benefits of the cloud, yung you only pay for what you use. So it's the ability to run systems to deliver business value at the lowest price point. Hindi na siya yung traditional na bibili ka ng hardware na ay mali pala yung nabili ko, hindi pala Linux yung kailangan namin. So hindi mo na magagamit, kailangan mo i-sell at a cost yung hardware na yun. With the cloud, you can select and pay only for the time, kahit na minimum of 1 hour, for example, yung EC2, yun lang yung babayaran mo. And napakadali na to turn off yung system, hindi mo na siya babayaran until that time na terminate mo. And everything online. Hindi siya yung you'll hire delivery person to deliver yung hardware. Ganun kadali mag-provision ng system with the cloud. And ayan, so these are just some of the services that is related to yung 5 pillars natin, which is again yung security, cost optimization, reliability, performance efficiency, and operational excellence. So basically yung mga cloud concepts related to the 5 pillars. So for example, for security, I will also discuss this in more detail kapag nag-deep dive na tayo dun sa mga resources about the cloud. So security, most important, syempre yung identity, how it handles yung accounts or mga logins, ganyan. Cost optimization, how will you save your cost? Ano yung mga pricing models? Ayan, dito natin i-discuss yun. And reliability, ano ba yung service limits? Ayan, scalability, health checks and monitoring, networking. Performance efficiency, how will you choose yung right AWS services? How will you use caching to improve performance? And ayan. Yeah. And also sa operational excellence, yung concept of CI/CD, very popular sa DevOps. Yung mga runbooks or playbooks na common din na-develop sa mga DevOps world. Yeah. So yan yung 5 pillars. And we also suggest there's AWS white paper about the 5 pillars. Marami kasing maraming exam questions that is focused on the 5 pillars. So we highly suggest you to read that. We'll also maybe send an email about the white papers that you need to read prior to going to the exam. Kasi ito, isa sa mga most important kasi marami talaga siyang topics na lalabas dun sa exam. Ayun. So let's have a quick pop quiz about what we just discussed. So which AWS resource describes a set of foundation questions that allows you to understand if your architecture aligns with best practices? Yeah. So siguro nagpe-pay attention naman kayo. Kung ano yun, sagot na yun. Ganun na lang ulit. Maybe put in the chat box your answers. Is it the AWS Share Responsibility Model, the AWS Well-Architected Framework, AWS White Papers, or the Marketplace? So I think everyone got it correct naman. The answer is AWS Well-Architected Framework. And then again, we suggest you to read that white paper if you want to pass, or at least get siguro high percent passing dun sa exam. Kasi marami talaga siyang questions about the well-architected framework. Okay, next, another question. Which principles are part of the AWS well-architected framework? Select 3. A, innovation, reliability, cost optimization, security. So you have 3 answers here. Meron na kayo another point in your exam, which is yung the correct answer is reliability, cost optimization, and security. Nice. Okay. So I guess if walang may question po ba, or we can move to the next. Wala naman. Okay, so next, we'll also discuss about an overview of the AWS services. So first, how do you interact with AWS Cloud? So a cloud services platform such as Amazon Web Services offers an easy method to access servers, storage databases, and a wide range of application services via the internet. You can provide and utilize what you need using a web application, a command line, or SDK. So yan, pinaprovide ng AWS, hindi lang siya via the website na i-access mo via web browser yung management console. We also have the command line interface. So basically, ito yung black and white na may type ka lang na commands, and you can also interact with your resources. Kunyari, gusto mo mag-pull ng file from your S3 bucket. So you can use the command line interface and makukuha mo na yung file down to your system. And you can also have AWS SDK. So yung AWS SDK, basically ito yung API na pinaprovide na AWS na pwede ka ring mag-call dun sa mga API na yun to run commands to interact with your resources in the AWS cloud. Next.
Okay.
Yes.
Sige, Kay, ako na eh. Okay lang, ikaw na mag-share ng screen.
Yep, sure.
So as we can see, guys, yung sa AWS Cloud Computing Service types, so this categorizes into different types: infrastructure, foundation services, platform, and applications. So with these services, it helps the organizations move faster with lower IT cost and scale. So AWS, since leading siya sa Gartner, 'di ba? May ganong kasi yung mga parang parang sila yung nagkakandak ng mga study ng survey kung sino yung number 1 in terms of cloud provider, cloud computing services. And number 1 sa Magic Quadrant yon, si AWS, followed by Microsoft Azure, then followed by the Google Cloud, then Alibaba. So yun na yun. But since AWS, siya yung pinaka-leading, siya yung pinaka-trusted by the largest enterprises and the hottest startups to power a wide variety of workloads. So including web, mobile applications, game developments, data processing and warehousing, storage, archive, and many more. So makikita natin with the infrastructure on the succeeding discussion, we will know about, or we will talk about the region, the availability zone, and the edge locations. Then for the foundational services, we will talk about the compute or yung mga virtual machines, networking, storage. For the platform, of course, which is very popular for the DevOps or sa mga dev, which is the databases, analytics, application services, deployment and management, and mobile. And for the application, we do have virtual desktops and the collaboration and sharing services. Then, for the AWS foundational services, so dito nakakategorize siya. So per service. So halimbawa, compute, ano ba yung mga ino-offer ni AWS pagdating sa compute? Kaya mapapamiliarize tayo what is Amazon EC2, yung mga service na yan. Ito kasi yung compute, parang siya yung mga virtual machine, store, mga servers, di ba? Kung i-compare natin dun sa environment natin, sa on-prem environment. Then we do have Elastic Container Registry o yung ECR, the Amazon Elastic Container Service or the ECS, Amazon Lightsail, Amazon Batch or AWS Batch, AWS Elastic Beanstalk, and AWS Lambda. So lahat yan, madadaanan natin. Pero ano lang kumaga parang aalamin lang natin what are the basic functionalities nitong mga service na ito. Then of course for the network, yung Amazon CloudFront, Amazon Route 53, Amazon VPC, the AWS Direct Connect, and the AWS or the Elastic Load Balancing or the ELB. Then for the storage, yung Elastic File System, Amazon S3, ito naman yung parang mga hard drive or hard disk. So meron din siyang kumbaga version in the cloud. So yung Amazon S3, AWS Snowball, AWS Storage Gateway. Of course, for the security and identity, actually there's a lot of, aside from these services na matututunan natin eventually yung Amazon Inspector, AWS Artifact, AWS Certificate Manager, yung mga yan directly.
Hello?
Ay, nawala yata yung audio ni Tere.
May connection problem. Okay, you want to take over muna?
Yep, sure. So, just to continue yung...
Nawala ako.
Yan.
Nawala pala ako. Okay, so security and identity management. So yun yung IM. And of course, meron pang mga cloud best practices in terms of security na kumbaga parang nare-recommend or sinasuggest ni AWS. And in terms of applications, of course, meron ding Amazon Workdocs, Amazon Workmail, Amazon Upstream, and Amazon Workspaces. Then for the next slide, which is the products and services. So this categorizes in terms of product and services. So in terms of databases, siguro sa exam, kailangan malaman lang natin anong klaseng database yung Amazon DynamoDB, yung Elasticache, yung RDS, kailan siya ginagamit, then yung Amazon Redshift, of course, yung features and functionalities ng mga databases. And analytics, so yan, yung Amazon Athena, Amazon Cloud Search, Amazon EMR, Elasticsearch Service, Amazon Kinesis, and Amazon QuickSight. Then for the application services, of course, yung Amazon AppFlow, Amazon Event Bridge, AWS AppSync, Amazon SQS. Ito magiging ano tayo dito, no? I-discuss to further pag yung in terms of tawag dito, pag in decoupling ng architecture, yung mga SQS, NSS, yan, dyan papasok yung mga service na yan. And of course, for the management tools where you can, kung halimbawa ikaw yung SysOps or Solutions Architect in your organization, ito kailangan medyo matutunan nyo yung mga management tools where you can, kung paano mo monitor or ma-audit yung mga logs, API logs, user logs in your AWS management console. Like yung Amazon CloudWatch, ito yung mga services na ginagamit, AWS Cloud Formation, CloudTrail, Config, Managed Service, OpsWork, Service Catalog, and Trusted Advisor. For the developer tools naman, yung code build, code commit, parang ito yung may mga ano siya, may mga counterpart siya na mga ibang applications, no, like GitHub, yung mga ganon na ginagamit ng mga dev. Then code deploy, code pipeline, AWS X-Ray, and AWS CodeStar. For the mobile services naman, sa AWS, meron siyang Mobile Hub, Amazon Pinpoint, AWS Device Farm, and AWS Amplify. And for the IoT, meron siyang sariling version niya, AWS IoT and AWS IoT Greengrass. So from there, makita natin no, napakarami talagang ino-offer na services ng AWS. So actually ilan lang yan. So as of now, as of today, alam ko there nasa 6,000 na yung services and microservices na ino-offer ni AWS. Okay. Next. Okay. So do you have any questions do sa naging topics natin today? And for our next topic on the next session is the domain 2, which is, kaya ano kasi yung ano natin, title na?
It's the security.
Security, yon. Ayan, lahat ng mga security services na nabanggit a while ago. So yan, madidiscuss yon one by one. Kumbaga madadaanan yung definition, yung functions, and functionalities and features ng bawat services na yon.
Any questions?
So guys, any questions?
Ayan, may nagtanong kung pwede daw mag-request ng copy of the presentation.
Ay, of course, just share your email address in the chat box. So para ma-share namin today yung, at saka may assignment tayo kay ano?
Oo. I-email din namin yung basically kasi we highly recommend actually na itong review sessions is more interactive lang. Pero aside from that, we also recommend na you also do studying on your own kasi mas ma-absorb nyo talaga yung knowledge kapag meron kang extra readings na ginagawa. So we'll also send yung kung ano yung mga suggested readings na pwede nyo ring i-review prior to the next session. So, yep.
We also encourage you to really ask questions. Huwag kayo mahihiya magtanong, sabi nga ni Susan Roset, diba?
Or kung meron din kayong information na gustong i-share, open. Lahat naman tayo.
We want to use this time, kaya coffee sessions yung ano natin para kape-kape lang tayo. In essence, kahit remote, really to encourage asking questions and to share actually. So, kung may nag-pop sa head ninyo na gusto nyo itanong, since yung iba is mag-shift or mag-transition pa lang to AWS or parang beginners level talaga, so feel free to ask questions. Walang bayad to, walang bayad. Only questions pa.
And lahat ba ng nandito sa ano natin, sa section natin are willing to take the CCP, the Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam or Certification? I hope, no? Lalo na kasi ito yung parang pinaka-foundation, ano talaga yung certificate ng AWS.
Yes.
And both technical and non-technical can actually take the Cloud Practitioner Certification.
And siguro, kapag totally beginner ka, siguro medyo overwhelming din yung mga presentation. Pero just keep studying. Dadating yung time na, ay, parang simple na lang sa'yo pag narinig mo AWS EC2, ano ba yun? Parang ang bilis na mag-register sa'yo. Pero sa umpisa talagang, ako kasi personally, nung nag-transition ako to a DevOps career, nag-uusap yung mga office mate ko na, ay, deploy mo sa EC2. Ano yung EC2? Hindi ko alam yung EC2. Hindi ako makarelate. That's why I went into a review session din. Nag-join ako first yung AWS user group. And yun. And ngayon, parang madali na siya sa akin. And yun. Very rewarding
Correct.
ang AWS.
Alam mo ba yan? Ako din I just want to share with you guys, no? Nung nag-i-start ako sa AWS, sabi ko, ba't ang hihirap naman ng pangalan?
Ang dami.
BM lang yun yung EC2 di ba sabi ko? Kasi sa Azure BM lang yun. Sa AWS talaga may EC2 siya, tapos yung storage niya S3, di ba? Tapos yung networking niya Route 53. So later on guys, alam ko nararamdaman ko rin yung nararamdaman
Parang
ngayon.
feeling mo alien language.
Overwhelming oo. Oo. Pero unti-unti yan. And
yun. Siguro maganda rin tip when studying for the cloud practitioner, yung you study to understand and not to pass. Parang hindi ka lang nag-aaral para pumasa ka, makakuha ka ng certification, but you study kasi gusto mo talagang pumunta dun sa career na related sa AWS, and yun. Siguro yun yung isang ma-assure ko na very rewarding career talaga ang AWS.
Yes.
Parang future of technology talaga ang cloud.
And of course, kung gusto nyo talagang maano yung knowledge nyo, yung learning, ipasa nyo. So natutunan ko rin to dun sa UG sa mentoring session namin. Mas malaking factor pala pag yung transfer of knowledge, pag tinuturo mo siya. Kasi mas syempre nag-aaral ka on your own kasi tuturo mo. Tapos talagang nagkakaroon ng retention. Not just yung parang pumasok lang. Tapos, yun, parang dumaan lang sa tenga. Diba? But this time, ako, malaking bagay sa akin yung nung bago ako nag-CCP, talagang bumili pa ako ng practice exam, nanood ako ng mga YouTube, pero parang hindi siya nag-i-stay. Pero, nung attend ako ng mentoring, nagkakaroon kasi ng sharing. So, pwede kayong magsalita, guys. Pwede kayong mag-share para natatandaan nyo rin.
Kung mas okay din mag-share kayo ng video, siguro for next week, we also suggest yung naka-on din yung video para mas interactive tayo.
Okay. Ay, may isang question dito from Mary Grace. Hi po, sa architecture side po, under ang hosting ng web. Okay. Sa architecture side po, yun ba yung tanong mo, Mary Grace? Sa architecture side po, under ang hosting ng web?
Yep. So, hosting ng web, basically magde-deploy ka ng isang website. Ganun ba yun?
Oo. Whether it's static or dynamic.
Ayun. So, in terms of architecture, meron din suggested ang AWS in terms of anong resources yung gagamitin mo kapag mag-host ka ng web. So, typically sa on-prem, di ba, pag mag-host ka ng web, kailangan mo ng isang server, doon i-deploy yung mga files, mga HTML files, yung index.html para ma-host mo yung website. So, similar sa AWS, may architecture din na suggested ang AWS. Pwede siyang S3, ganun.
Actually,
short answer, yes.
May mga manage na ina-offer si AWS, like yung halimbawa yung light sale, di ba? Pag start up ka and then you want to upload or mag-host ng web, you can parang wala ka ng ganong ipo-provision sa side mo kasi managed service siya. So you can use the light sale. Pero kung gusto mong ikaw, yun yung sinasuggest nila yung S3. Yan, magpo-provision ka ng storage muna. And of course, isa din yun kung wala pang domain name, kailangan may DNS name ka rin. Meron din si AWS dyan yung Route 53, parang kung gusto mong magkaroon ng DNS yung website mo, yun. Meron din siya. Yung parang GoDaddy. Pero kung meron ka na, i-upload mo na lang yun.
Maraming options sa AWS. Depende kung paano mo siya gustong gamitin. Gusto mo sobrang dali sa'yo na konti lang gagawin mo. Pwede rin yung gusto mo may control ka pa rin. in terms of sa mga networking, ganun. Maraming option. So,
Yeah.
in terms of sa architecture yun.
If I may add also, yung experience ko in terms of using Amazon or AWS for web. So yung isang version ng website sa former company na pinagtatrabahuan ko, use WordPress and Lightsail kasi very, very minimal lang yung cost. But when we shifted to a different platform, so ginamit namin 11T and then Strapi for CMS, nag-ano lang kami, S3. And then very minimal pa rin yung cost. Si Strapi kasi, yung CMS, it really works well with AWS. So ang nangyari doon is the marketing and business dev team won't need a technical person to actually update the content of the site. Kaya ginamit namin yung Strapi din noon. Disadvantage lang kasi based on my experience, yung sa WordPress, if you're using like parang the free templates, no, after a while, kung hindi na siya supported dahil free nga, you didn't pay for it, nagiging buggy. So that's the reason why we shifted to 11T for static and then ginamit namin yung Strapi para mas may flexibility kami in terms of design and then deployment. Hindi pa kami, yung marketing team hindi pa very dependent sa technical or infrastructure. Tapos it doesn't even cost us as much as parang $30 a month or and then in case we need to scale it up, it's so easy lang to manage then. So yun yung some of the advantages of deploying or using AWS also in a very, very parang simple project actually. Ayan, Teen opened her camera. Yay! If you want to open also, let me change your to co-host also so that we can interact. Maybe we can use Google Meet next time so we can easily turn on instead of Zoom na webinar setup.
How about yung others? Meron ba sa inyo may experience na sa AWS? Any sharing that you can also share with the group? Ano na ba yung mga AWS service na nagamit nyo? Or totally no experience pa as of now?
Okay, I guess I'll share. Experience sa AWS, nung unang panahon, like nung first experience ko sa AWS actually was when I did research for my previous company about S3 and CloudFront. So I think I don't remember anymore, pero around that time they were exploring how to better serve photos from the website that we were maintaining. So I did a preliminary research about that and presented it to the stakeholders. So and then I realized that parang ang ganda niya lang, parang andali lang, like I guess in terms of scaling and parang available na yung technology, you just have to incorporate it into your code, into your web app. So that was my first experience with AWS, and then on my next job, when I joined them, it's a startup. They were already using AWS, so it was so dahil it's a startup, ang liit ng team, so yung dev team mo is actually also your infra team. It's also kasi it was an e-commerce business. So puro accounts people and business people, tapos you have yung IT team, which is basically yung devs nyo, who are also doing infra, DB, everything. So nagde-deploy kami ng web apps sa AWS kasi yun yung gamit. Your startup, so you can, you don't have to maintain like a big infrastructure to deploy your web apps. Pero nung nag-change ako ng work kasi it's a mas malaking company, so meron ng established na team. So nawalan ako ng AWS na responsibility aside from yung development na lang. So we use S3, and then last year there's a feature that I made for that uses machine learning, AWS recognition. So I put that into the product. So basically, it just detects people on the screen or whatever. So yun yung last na project na ginawa ko na may related sa AWS. And I'm planning on taking the exam. So I'm actually targeting December 21. And so that's why I'm here. Hello.
Yay! That's great, and we're looking forward that maging helpful yung mga sessions and certified ka na by December. Just to share also, even if I'm part of the core group, I think ako yung isa sa mga hindi pa certified. So that's why ini-encourage ko din na parang marami akong kasabay na take ng certification also. I actually delayed it the time na dapat ako. Pero I've been organizing study groups internally sa office. Tapos ako yung laging nadidelay yung certification. So I said I really wanted to take the certification also, and then eventually pay it forward by helping lead or mentor the group then. That's why Kay and Therese doing the same thing. The community has been very helpful to them in terms of acquiring or developing their cloud skills and knowledge. Tapos they wanted to pay it forward. That's why they're leading the sessions now. So thank you, Kay and Tere. The others, you might have other questions pa or recommendations. How do you find the flow so far? Medyo mabilis ba yung pacing? Is there anything that you want to add or suggest also? Baka si Jody, si Joey, si Joanna, and si Mary Grace, merong they want to share also kung ano yung cloud or AWS experience nila. Kung wala pa naman, baka you can share what made you interested to actually join this session also.
Siguro ako, what makes me share ko na lang siguro yung what makes me join here in the dito sa sa session. So actually yesterday kasi nagche-check na ako ng mga yun nga sa AWS, then suddenly nag-join ako dun sa sa AWS group sa Facebook, through Facebook. Then yun, nakita ko yung invite na meron siyang session. Then yun, after nakapag-join ako dito, then eventually parang na-notice ko na puro mga babae siya. Then kanina, sinilip ko doon sa Facebook na na-realize ko na na parang builders hairs ang nakalagay dun sa so yun, actually medyo nahiya ako. Pero yun,
Hindi
ano naman.
naman. Welcome ka, Joey. Welcome na
Yes,
welcome
yes,
ka.
yes. Yes. Yes, yun nga actually yung kanina
Ilan
nga
yun?
sinabi. Welcome dito sa ano. So yun, yun pero yun nga at least naano ko mas nakita ko yung ano, yung mga possibilities dito sa AWS. So yun, sabi ko nga next session join ulit ako dito para at least mas ma-improve or mas yung knowledge ko pagdating sa AWS is ma-enhance pa. Yun, pagdating naman sa ano sa experience ko dito sa AWS, actually ano siya, may preview pa lang yung nangyari sa akin dito sa ano sa AWS. Nag-ano ako na ano lang ako dun sa AWS, nag-try ako ng free tier na ano. So yun, after yung registration ko ng free tier, nakita ko lahat ng mga services, then nag-test ako, nag-research ako. Actually yung na-test ko is EC2 and yung S3. Then yun, nakapag-deploy ako ng isang EC2, Linux siya, then S3 na parang na-connect ko siya. Then eventually, siguro mga 2 months after, hindi ko nag-stop ako ng parang exploring sa AWS. Then after that, ano lang, biglang may nag-notice sa akin sa AWS. Nakita ko yung ano, may billing ako around $300 na ano ko. Bigla akong nagulat. Bakit ako nagkaroon ng ganito mga billing na ano? So, chinek ko yung ano. So, then suddenly, nakita ko nga na dapat pala hindi mo iiwan yung ano yung mga services mo na hindi ginagamit. So yun. So yun yung ano yung experience ko pagdating sa AWS na medyo nakakalungkot na nakakatuwa naman. Yun yan.
Medyo
Nagamit mo naman.
painful.
Yes,
Actually, Joey, there are some services na pwede mong ilimit yung threshold value. Like, halimbawa, ako nung nagpa-practice lang ako sa console, hanggang ano lang, mga 500, magkano kasi yung 500 pesos? Mga ganun lang. Ganun lang yung siniset ko. So,
may
nag-i-email siya
ganun
sa
pala
akin.
siya.
Yes. Sa ano, pwede mong i-set yon. Meron ding calculator, which is yung calculator para ma-anticipate mo yung magkano yung yung cost mo for a month. So, pwede mong gamitin yon. And then yun nga, sa CloudWatch ko ba sinet yun? Kasi parang ini-email niya ako eh.
Billing alarm.
Billing alarm yan. Billing alarm yan.
Ayun.
Part yon nung features ni AWS na, oops, lumalagpas ka na. So, ang gagawin ko, minsan kasi may naiwan din ako eh, yung EC2, nakalimutan ko siya. Tapos nag-add pa ako ng load balancer. Hindi ko siya na-stop. Tapos, di ba, credit card yung ilalagay mo doon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oo. Sabi ko, ay, ano na siya, lumagpas na siya, nagbibil na siya. Yun, kailangan i-terminate or stop mo muna.
Actually, hindi ko alam kung may nakatry na sa inyo, pero may nabasa kasi ako before sa AWS user group, yung pwede mo daw i-contest, parang email mo yung customer support na kung pwede nilang ibalik yung parang sasabihin, i-explain mo na nakalimutan mo lang siya i-off. Tapos parang i-check nila kung yung in terms of sa usage mo kung na-utilize ba talaga.
Pero may 1 year na free, di ba? May 1 year.
So when you sign up actually right now, so pwede mong gamitin if you want to discount it.
Hindi ko maalala, pero nabasa ko yun sa user group. Meron din kasing ganong case. Tapos parang may nag-suggest na email daw yung customer support. Baka pagbigyan. Kasi mabait naman sila and very responsive ang AWS.
Very considerate na.
Yun, ang malaking na bill sa akin yung parang RDS yata, dalawang RDS.
Alam kasi nila common yun nangyayari. Lalo sa beginners. So baka i-refund ka. Try mo lang.
Try ko nga din.
Tapos pag may umattend ka ng mga re-invent, yung mga nila, may mga credits sila, minsan 50 USD. So nakakabawas din yun.
Also here in the community, so very supportive yung community kasi. So when we had our first meet up nung August, so relatively AWS BuildHers Plus is very new, no? So nung first meetup namin noong August, a couple of parang yung mga community builders, they provided us $50 credit to be raffled off sa mga attendees also. So with that amount, you can actually play around na, so that if you want to try a service or you want to try deploying parang some of your projects, you can use eventually those credits also.
Maraming freebie. Basta.
Yes.
Yan pala yung hintayin ko dito. No?
Hopefully, Joey, pagka within the next few sessions, parang maka-acquire ka pa ng mas deeper knowledge. And you don't have to feel uncomfortable also kung maraming women dito. The goal of the community kasi is to actually encourage more women to join. Baliktad kasi maraming men, 'di ba, sa AWS UG. So ini-encourage naman namin na mas maraming women na mag-participate or mag-mentor also. So we need more to create more visibility also.
Yes.
Maybe Joanna, you want to share also sila Mary Grace, si Jody, or si Xiao?
Hi, ayan, sige. Ako si Joanna. For me, actually, I joined this session kasi I'm interested to become a mentor. Meron na akong AWS experience, more than a year, and actually, I already have a CCP certification. So interested lang ako how this session goes, paano kayo mag-mentor, and hopefully I will be a mentor then in the future. Ayun. So I'm open to be a mentor. If kailangan nyo ng ka-one-on-one, pwede din ako for any questions that you have.
Yes.
So siguro yung tips ko sa mga mag-e-exam, so medyo baka pag sinunod yung tip ko, no, ma-overwhelm kayo, pero medyo nag-over ako sa study. Yung maganda kasi kay AWS, madami siyang free trainings. So kung Cloud Practitioner yung hinahanap nyo, you can take the AWS Cloud Practitioner Essentials. So that's a free online training sa AWS. And then ako personally, I used yung free training then from YouTube, yung kay Andrew Brown. So hanapin nyo lang yon, free code camp. So I think okay yung course niya. Ayun, and then last siguro yung join kayo nung Awesome Day online conference kasi yun yung parang pinaka-foundational din na conference ni AWS. So it's a free conference din. At least pwede kayo gamitin nyo yun to get more background about AWS, and then syempre yung mga core services nila. Ayun lang. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna.
Kaya pala laging tama si Joanna kanina. Ganda na pala yung experience.
May cheat code pala.
Thank you for the tips.
Mary Grace, do you want to share?
Hello po. Nakikinig po ako. Hello po everyone.
Yes.
Hello po. So, for me po, kasi 2 years ko nang tinitingnan si AWS. Kasi 2 years na po ako nag-enter ng web design. So, nakikita ko siya as, pwede ka din mag-deploy ng web sa kanya, but on a difficult level po. Kasi compared kay GoDaddy, nakaset up na siya. Nakaset up na po yung pinaka-hosting bago ka mag-deploy ng CMS kay GoDaddy. But for AWS, ang sabi po ng mga nakapag-deploy na sa akin po, yung mga kasama sa trabaho, is from scratch. Pero mas maganda po kasi mas madami kang control na overall control ka po pala dun sa makukuha mong subscription sa kanila compared po kay GoDaddy na nakakontrol ka lang ito one folder or one part ng website. So planning po to study din ng AWS, but plan din po kumuha ng certification pero probably po by next year. Then nung nagse-search po ako ng mga free training kasi yung mga training po na nakikita ko is more on may mga bayad. Tapos yung mga bayad po is more on mga matataas pero more on focus. Kaya po nung naghahanap ako sa Facebook, nakita ko po yung group. And I'm thankful po na parang it's free siya. Tapos more on Filipino kasi kapag foreign po yung nasa group, parang more on English siya. Tapos, dati po kasi nung nanonood ako ng YouTube, English lang yung mga more on tutorial, tapos yung mga more on technical terms po, kaya mahirap intindihin. So, ngayon po, I'm planning po to join yung session po with you for almost 1 month po yata. Then magde-decide po ko if ano po, kukuha din this year or next year ng beginning certification.
Yay! Thanks, very great.
So unless they suggest mga, di ba, natapos mo yung mentoring. So within the following month, so best ano daw yun,
Refresh
is
pa.
experience, oo. Yung mga nag-share, ganun yung ginawa nila. Within the
Okay po.
nag-exam na rin sila.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Ayaw mo yan, go!
Jody,
Yun na
you
lang
want
po.
to share?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Yes. Yes. Ako po, I have experience on Google Cloud. Yun kasi yung nagsusupport ng nested virtualization. But actually, ano pala, I'm supporting a startup. So, yung Google Cloud, yun nga yung may nested virtualization. But I'm checking on the billing. So, I will try po yung AWS. Yun po. Kaya gusto ko po matutunan din. And then I'll try to take the exam. Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. How would you compare yung experience mo so far with Google Cloud and AWS? May similarities ba or medyo malayo yung terminologies and things like that?
Yes. For Google Cloud, mas yung terminology niya, kasi I have experience on-prem. So, hindi ganun kahirap na mag-transition. But for AWS, yun nga, maraming different terms. Actually, AWS yung na-try ko una. Kaso yun nga, naiwan ko rin yung billing. So, natakot ako. Sa Google Cloud po kasi, unless po na i-on nyo po yung auto-billing, hindi siya mag-bill. Yun lang naman po.
So malaki rin yung na initial na bill sa'yo.
Naagapan ko naman siya.
Okay.
Actually, guys, aside from the AWS Management Console, we can also use the Quick Lab kasi may mga free doon, may mga free
Code labs.
Nabalaya
Also, in session.
Wala ulit si Tere.
Hello.
Ayan. Nag-freeze lang yung screen. Yep, yung quick labs yata yung in-explain ni Tere. Merong mga free labs doon, yung mga, at least yung mga basic. Meron din mga matcha-charge ka ng buy credits, parang bibili ka ng credits, tapos yun yung depende kung anong lab yung gagamitin.
Nawala ako. Quick Lab. So may mga free training doon kahit wala yatang credits. So anuhin niya na lang instead of Management Console kasi parang doon magta-try kang mag-provision ng EC2, S3, database. So may mga ganun. Pero pag yung iba kasi minsan may credit eh. Pero i-try niyo, may mga free din naman. May i-share kami mga links. Ay, yung mga, wala na bang magre-request ng slide deck for today? So, si Mary Grace and Jody lang. Email ko na lang. Actually, na-share ko na, kaya lang, mas maganda magkaroon na lang sila ng sariling copy. Pati yung assignment natin.
Si Xiao. Xiao, maybe you can share also. Tama ba? How did I pronounce your name correctly? Xiao? Medyo shy pa si Xiao. Alright, sige. Maybe Tere and Kay, you can share what's our reading assignments or parang what they can look forward to for our next session. Yung difference nung sa AWS UG na sessions, it's 3 sessions per 3 hours long. So we wanted to parang see kung shorter sessions pero more sessions. Tama ba ako? Minsan mas madaling sabihin in English. So we wanted to do 4 sessions but much shorter para yung attention span din and yung interaction yun, mas better din. Alright, Tere and Kay?
Bali, yung next modules for the coming weeks, yung, ayun nga, as mentioned, yung module 2 which is focused on security. Tapos yung module 3, mga technology, so mga deep dive sa AWS services. And last, yung billing and pricing.
So guys, very important, lalong-lalo na yung, actually lahat yan importante, pero yung mga services talaga ni AWS nasa domain 3, no? So sana wag kayong mawala. Mag-stay kayo up to session 4 para makompleto. Okay? So, I think, email ko na lang po, no? Email ko na lang.
What day?
Yung next session daw natin, 2 p.m.
I'll double check. No, 1 to 3 p.m. Kasi ang AWS UG for for architect sessions is at 3 to 6 naman sila. And minsan may mga ibang mentors na nag-volunteer also. So para may time that transition or to actually help mentor yung ibang sessions also. 1 to 3 p.m. And I'll send out the reminder. I'll double check also sa meetup.com baka mali na post or na set ko. But it's 1 to 3 p.m. every Sunday, all Sundays of November. So November 7, 14, 21, and 28. And we'll have another run Feb naman. Feb. So we have a meetup on December and January. There you go. All right. Thank you very much. If you don't have any more questions, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hindi tayo mag-picture.
All right. Sige. If the others can turn their cameras on, kung hindi kayo medyo camera shy.
If willing lang.
Joey, si Jody, and si Joanna.
Nahiya na si Xiao.
Nawala si Xiao. Okay.
Ayan. Oh, nice to see you, Mary Grace.
Joanna, Jody. Ay, nawala si Joey.
Ayan. All right. Sige. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone, see you next week.
Thanks, Tina. Thanks, Kay.
Thank you. Bye.
Joanna, see you sa mentoring sessions was one of our mentors.